Hey, welcome to March 7th, 2023. I'm Connor MacIvor. Santa Clarita real estate is moving along. We are watching, though, as those interest rates are still staying a little high. Overall term, they're great, but again, for the recent past with the 2.9s and 3.5s, those interest rates where most sellers happen to be, or most potential sellers, most of those people have mortgages, most everybody refied kind of to those levels, unless they bought recently. But what we've watched is those people that are considering selling their houses are a little bit in a quandary because of their inability to find something else to purchase. So that seems to be the holding back of the inventory currently. Plus, I believe inventory is going to stay relatively low throughout the rest of 2023. Now, we're going to see that usual uptick we do starting about now, really March of any year, and then we're going to see that uptick continue, and it's going to move into potentially the beginning of fall. Then we're going to start to see those numbers dwindle, and we're going to see real estate listings start to be fewer and further in between, and then we're going to watch as the year plays itself out in the normal holiday fashion, where people are much more interested in doing the holiday thing than they are the real estate thing. So we'll watch that as that continues to build. Now, as far as inventory goes in Santa Clarita Valley, all the active units we have is somewhere around 300. It's been sitting there for quite some time. We do have some of the lowest numbers in inventory ever recorded out here since they started keeping track merely just a few months ago, and we're watching as that inventory still has not replenished itself to the levels that would make the market move from where it is currently in a seller's market to a buyer's market. But the question is that the sellers have is, where am I going to move? Maybe they do have their heart set on selling something. Maybe they have their primary residence. They want to get sold so they can move somewhere else, whether it's upsizing, downsizing, or moving to a different community or state altogether. But that question is, what's that interest rate going to look on the other side? And if their current mortgage is much more able to be handled at the $2,000 a month for that same purchase price, when they go step into something else, that property price with the interest rates could be closer to $3,200 to $3,500 a month. So the sellers are now holding back, wondering if making a move is the smartest thing to do at this time. We do find out that typically at the end the payoff is bigger, especially if you're going to be relocating from a city that's more expensive than the city you're going to be going to. Now, of course, real estate prices being relative, you have Southern California markets, New York markets, New Jersey markets, Metro-Dade Florida markets. These are expensive markets in comparison to other places, Midwest, up north, the Southwest, and so on, where you're going to be able to get properties for probably half or even less price per square foot than the markets you're going to be leaving. Sometimes that's a good answer for a seller that's looking to sell now and move somewhere else. Now, in the future, interest rates come down. Sure, of course, you can do a refinance, but you have to look at those numbers and see if that actually makes sense. Some people get contacted by lenders out there to refinance when the interest rate has changed a mere eighth of a point. You have to look at those numbers. That could actually cost you more than save you in the short term and potentially long term, depending on how long you're going to live in the residence. All of this advice comes to you free with no charge. Just reach out, grab your phone, text me, send me something on social media, DM me, whatever it's called, and I will be there to answer your question. This has been your Santa Clarita Market Update. We look like we're going to be getting higher numbers in inventory, upwards of 200 more than we currently have today. But with the current buyer drive, the sellers are still going to be sitting pretty during this time, and we don't see prices fluctuating at all, if not potentially going up maybe 1.5% to 3% at the end of the year or by the end of the year throughout the summer. Be well. We'll talk to you soon.